Hello, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to Harping on Rugby, where with the help of some fellow fans, I get the chance to harp on what's going on with Leinster, Ireland, and the wider rugby world. First up, joining me is someone earning cap number 58. Welcome back to Mr. Conor Cronin.
58 for the end of the season. That's not bad at all.
That's a good haul indeed, indeed. And our second guest is making appearance number 37, coming to us once more from the Great Rock of Gibraltar. Hello again to Mr. Rich Massoud.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Conor.
Good to see you both. We're doing this just as the Euro final is kicking off, and this match is something we'd much rather be talking about at the moment. That's for sure. So let's crack on with it. All of which brings us to our final thoughts from the match in Durban, starting with Conor.
I think it's a lot within the wrap, like incredible defense, determined attack, determined and willingness to try things, willingness to, whether it's an offload or a kick pass or an up and under at a time where you might be looking going, geez, just stick with a couple more phases and see how we go. Or, and this is why I'm not making all the decisions, because I might make different ones. I think it's been a really, really challenging couple of tests. The one thing all of us wanted, we didn't get. We all wanted it to be an injury-free series. And again, you question a little bit, why are we going to the reigning world champions for a 2-test tour, which if you lose one, you can't win the series. Why are we going somewhere where, like in my head the whole time I was thinking, surely we go somewhere where we can bring developing players and expose them to Farrell's systems before we lose him for a year, so that when he comes back, he has a little sense of, well, these players are coming up and I've seen them in training and I've seen them on a pitch. But look, we rolled with the decisions we had and came away with a series draw. I think a couple of bounces of the ball, a couple of other decisions in the first test, and indeed in the second test, a couple of decisions that you kind of look at them and you go, oh, that is not I don't believe that's a correct call. And aside from those, we still managed to come away winning a game. We were within 7. As you said earlier, we held them. Yes, they scored a penalty try. Yes, they had the bounce of a ball from one bad decision from a player to get them over for another. But we're the creative team. We're the team building a lead. We're the team consolidating a win at the end of this second test. And I'm really impressed with how they've played over the couple of weeks, but in particular, that bit of dog that came out yesterday, that bit of aggression, that bit of, we're taking no crap from you this week, lads. We gave you too much respect last week. It's not happening this week. And I want to see that every Ireland game from now on. Respect nobody until they earn it on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we definitely brought the physicality that was required. I mean, you could see that in the opening stages. I mean, you looked at our injury list after the first week, but after like 10 minutes of the second, it was the South Africans that was going down. That's what the series we wanted. That's the series we wanted. We wanted them matching up in every which way, and it was I think it was the perfect result in a way for the two. That some people were saying, well, isn't it a shame there wasn't a third test? I mean, obviously for us rugby nerds watching, yes, we would love to see it, but when you know the toll it's had on the players and the way they've been playing since about like 1983 at this stage, as this season's been going on so long, it's been attritional enough as it is, and it's kind of the perfect finish. On the just a quick thing on the South African side, things weren't great for them. Like we said, we did keep them out. We did keep them out with good defense, but they were kind of sort of lacking in ideas at stages, and they were having kind of systems errors on their own side. We talked already about Faf just not playing well at all, not to his standards. He's been playing over in Japan, I think, this season. I mean, since the World Cup, that's obviously a level down since to a European season or even a Super Rugby kind of season. But he just didn't seem up to the pace. With one maybe exception in the first half. If that chip over the top had bounced up properly, we might have been talking about a completely different game. If they've been able to score that early, their confidence might have been up. But still, with that attempt, that half attempted kick at the start of the second half. I don't even know what that was. It just was not on, and it's not like him. But like you say, Williams came on, and also I never thought I'd question a South African decision to pick a back row because they've got so many to choose from. But I just don't think Kwaka Smith was the right choice to start for those two matches. He did make mistakes through the times. He dropped a couple in the first test,
but again, if he gathers that ball and clears past Osborne,
exactly,
would you be saying it?
True, exactly. But I mean, I think over the two matches, I've always seen him as a vital impact player from the bench to come on and give you all. But I just thought that from a situation where South Africa have so many, especially eights to choose from. Big eights like Evan Roos and Elric Lowe and those kinds of players who can who the classic South African back rowers. But anyway, listen, there's so much to talk about from this game. We could be going on forever. Rich, what do you think?
I think that what I'll use to explain this is the post-match interview from Siya Kolisi. And the first thing that came out of his mouth was that we outdid them physically on the physicality stakes. Now, this is the captain of the Springboks, who have, from the beginning of recorded history, out-physicaled everything that has been put in their path. Clearly gone are those days. The physicality that the players brought, and it's not just Ireland, but other teams can also do it now, not least the French with those behemoths that they also have. But that was they used to pummel teams. They can't do that any longer, certainly not with Ireland. And the other thing is that this game was won here in the top 2 inches, because we could very easily have folded, but they didn't. Not only did they not fold, but they grew into the latter stages of that game, and they outfought the Springboks and the clarity of thinking from the players, the decision making was right, and the execution obviously, but without the clear thinking, the execution is academic. And those decisions that were taken in the latter stages of that second half and in the first half, won us that match, clearly. So extremely pleased. Yes, it was a series drawn, but morally, that's a series win. Because from where we were with the attritional nature of that first test, the injuries, etc., it felt like a win, easily like a win, and bodes well for the future, not least because it's bringing new players in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if nothing else, Andy Farrell has shown that he's able to take teams on tours to the Southern Hemisphere, lose the first test, and then somehow pick them up at the end of a long season in the North, pick them up and get them and make the right changes to come back and get a result the following week, which is kind of the remit of a Lions tour when you think of it. So it's I think they've got the right man for the job. Well, listen, lads, we're going to leave it there. Many thanks again to Conor and Rich for joining me. Good way to end to have a final wrap for the season. Thanks, lads, and hope to have you back on again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.